are going to start with our seminar today, focused on the use of AI in the teaching of English. So first, I would like to welcome Professor Marisol Ortega. She is the coordinator of the um, English Committee for organizing programs for teachers and colleagues in the continuing education um, sector. Thank you, Professor Marisol Ortega. Uh, your microphone is muted.
I'm sorry. Okay. Well, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Professor Lidiana Hills, Assistant Dean of the College of Humanities. To the authorities of the English Department, Professor Adrian Jimenez, Head of the English School, Ms. Erika Santimateo, Administrative Coordinator of the Extension and Continuing Education Coordination, and to our lecturer speaker of today, Professor Abdias Luque. It is my very great honor to welcome everyone to this seminar, AI in the Classroom, Transforming English Language Teaching. It is wonderful to see that there are so many colleagues interested in improving their teaching skills. We would like to express our gratitude to Mrs. Erika Santimateo, Administrative Coordinator of the Continuing Education Coordination, for being so helpful and being there for us all the time. And also to the English Department Seminar Organizing Committee, Professor Joel Alvarez, Professor Randy Morales, Professor Belsis Bishop, Professor Veronica Forte, Professor Suri Palacios, and of course myself. I can't tell you how hard we have worked to organize everything well. I mean, this takes months of preparing and organizing and making contacts and doing all the paperwork and everything. Without our committee, we wouldn't have been able to do this possible. We would also like to thank you, the participants, who enthusiastically will share with us this experience. We have participants from different regional branches of the Universidad de Panamá and from other institutions who will be with us during the entire week. Thank you all. There is a Chinese proverb that says, always walk through life as you have something new to learn, and you will. And I like that thought. That thought is by Vernon Howard, and it is something that I carry with me all the time. We are going to be starting in a few minutes, but before that, we would like to express our gratitude to our Lord, our God, with a few words of prayer. So let us put this seminar in the hands of the Lord. Father God, we commit this seminar to you. We ask you, Lord, to enlighten our minds and our understanding during all these days. May your wisdom be with us so that we will be able to assimilate all the knowledge you have in store for us. Give us the strength, the health, the intelligence, and the abilities to reproduce and to put into practice everything we learn. We also commit the professors, the facilitators of this seminar, Professor Abdias Luque and Professor Fernando Lesniak, to you. We ask you to guide them in everything they do. And we ask you to take control of every single detail, Lord, because you are a God of details. We thank you, Lord, for being with us during this journey. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Well, it is going to be a busy morning, so we call Professor Joel back to the floor. Thank you, Joel.
Thank you, Professor Marisol. Just for housekeeping, some announcement before we continue. It is important for you to know that this seminar is from 8 a.m. until noon. There is going to be a break of 15 minutes at 10 a.m. And there is going to be a Google Classroom for you to enroll, where you will receive all the information, and you will have to post your assignments, and facilitators will post the information shared during this seminar. Okay, so this is important to share that this is part of the Escuela de Verano, Internacional de Verano, de la Universidad de Panamá. We have a speaker from the United States that is going to be sharing with us uh, uh, in the next days. So we'd like to welcome Professor Lidiana Hills, Deputy Dean of the College of Humanities. She has some remarks for the entire
Good morning. Welcome to this week of learning and sharing. As we open this seminar, it gives us a great pleasure to welcome you all. In particular, I would like to welcome Professor Gloria de Ho, Head of the English Department, Professor Adrian Jimenez, Head of the English School, Dr. Belsis Bishop, Coordinator of the Doctorate Program, featured speakers, our gratitude and our welcoming for sharing your researches and expertise. Members of the organizing committee and continuing education, thank you for your hard work and for being part of this important mission. Colleagues and students, our aim for this week is to advance in our profession and gain expertise in English language teaching and learning for speakers of other languages. This seminar is an opportunity to share the latest developments and explain how this progress will lead us into our next phase in the teaching of English as a foreign language. Thank you for being part of this important journey. Finally, I want to say that together we can share and gain knowledge which will help us to achieve our mission and give our students the best opportunities to continue walking firmly towards their professional growing and becoming better citizens. Welcome to this week of extraordinary learning experience. Have a nice day and a nice week of learning and sharing.
Thank you, Professor Liliana. Thank you very much. Another important announcement is that since this is a hands-on program where you're going to be, learning about new AI, learning about how to use it. It's great. It's a good advice for you to have another device so that you can start discovering at the time where you're going to be learning new tools, and then that would help you to keep track of your learning. That is an advice. So we have some welcome remarks by Professor Adrian Jimenez. He is the head of the English School.
Good morning. Intelligence is the ability to adapt to changes. This is Stephen Hopkins. Good morning, Dr. Romero Garcia, Dean of the College of Humanities at the University of Panama. Magister Lidiana Hills, Vice Dean of the College of Humanities. Magister Gloria Ho, Chairperson of the English Department. Professor Bessie Bishop, Coordinator of the Doctorate Program. Dear professors, special guests, speakers from all the regional centers and other institutions. It's an honor for me to give you a warm welcome to this international seminar, AI in the Classroom, Transforming English Language Teaching. I would like to extend a warm welcome also to the members of the committee who made this possible. Professor Marisol Ortega, Sui Palacios, Verónica Forte, Yuri Álvarez, Randy Morales. Thank you for your effort. Thank you for giving your best in this seminar. Also, the facilitators, Maestra Abdias Luques, Fernando Lesnia, and the others who are going to participate today. We are like members of a family here, sharing different ideas, different perspectives, and we are eager to learn new tools that will help us to improve and help our students' learning. I would like to mention about two important aspects. First, the need of the English language in Panama. So far, we have unemployment in Panama, even though we have more than 1,000 kinds of jobs that are available. However, the main need or the main requirement that these jobs have is to know the English language. The complaint of the different companies is that those who are going to participate, they know only basic English. They need more competence in the English language. COSPAE, in the research, this COSPAE said that English is the main competence that enterprises in Panama need. This competence is above technology. So English is very important. Taking into account this information, we have to be aware that we need more tools, more information about the way we can help our students. Why? Because there are, let's say, 40, 50 students in the classroom, and all have different kinds of needs. Maybe they need to improve their writing skills, their listening skills. The short period of time that we have in the classroom is not enough to achieve the goals that they need. That's why we need the AI, the artificial intelligence. So far, we have sort of knowledge about the artificial intelligence. We have used, for instance, like Google Translator. In the US, they are also using chatbots, and even in Japan, to help students to have like conversations in English with the computers. They are using adaptive tests. In these adaptive tests, they measure the level of the students and the lessons, and the test itself is focused on their level. So far, we learned in previous seminars about the use of ChatGPT. However, we need to know more. We have to explore. So my invitation is to take advantage of this opportunity. I know some of the facilitators, and they have given their best to improve themselves in the knowledge of AI. So let's take advantage of this, and I encourage you to give your best. Thank you for sharing with us.
Wonderful. Thank you. Great. We are very happy to have you all here. Before continuing, we would like to know where are you from or where are you now? Could you please go to the chat box and text where are you now if you are in Panama City, if you are in Colon, in Bocas del Toro. Let's create let's activate the chat box here, because you need to know that there's gonna be some links shared here on Zoom, the chat box that you need to know. So we'd like you to go to the chat box and share where are you now, in which part of the country in Panama. Let's see here, Santiago de Veraguas, beautiful. What else? Who else is here? Panama, David, excellent. Excellent. Los Santos, Chorrera, Albrook, fantastic. Veraguas, wow, wow. Santiago, La Chorrera, everyone. Oh my God, people from different parts of the country. Beautiful. That's why we are a learning community. Beautiful, fantastic. So I would like to introduce our first speaker, Abdias Lucas, Magister Abdias Lucas. Is a language professor and creator of educational material resources for language classes. He focuses on enhancing learning experiences by integrating artificial intelligence into classes, designing and content creating. He continuously seeks new ways of improved teaching and students' engagement through emerging technologies. And I would like to add that Adias is part of our project at the university, el Centro de Investigación, Acreditación y Capacitación Docente. Welcome, Abdias, and I know we're going to learn a lot from you. And please take advantage of this opportunity because he knows a lot on AI.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. And thank you for being here. For me, it's really a pleasure to be here and sharing everything I know about AI, technology integration in our classroom. And I think that today's seminar, we will learn some of the basics regarding the usage of AI in general. Okay, so let me share my screen and get started. Okay. Okay, wonderful. Do you see my screen, right?
Yes,
Yes.
perfect.
Okay, perfect. Well, so welcome to AI in the Classroom, Transforming English Language Teaching. Again, my name is Abdias Luque, and as Professor Joel mentioned, I have an expertise in technology integration and the usage of AI tools in the classroom. I'm really glad for being invited here, and I think one of the things that I want to accomplish for today's seminar is to convince, well, if there is somebody that is not convinced yet that AI is not the future, it's the present, and everyone is using it around the world. We already use AI. I will mention that later. It's not something like that is new technology. We use it every day, every time we grab our smartphones. So it is really here to stay. And we as teachers, English teachers, we have a certain advantage when it comes to artificial intelligence, and you will see why. Okay. So this is our itinerary, I would say, for this week. I will be providing information on day 1, 2, 3, and 5, right? So give me a second here. Okay. So first day, we will see the fundamentals of AI in English language teaching. Basically, we're going to explore some definitions, concepts regarding AI, even though it's not really important when it comes to the application in our classroom or in our daily life in general. It is important to understand where all these concepts and technology comes from. So that will be our day 1. Also, day 2, we are going to see how to apply AI or any kind of technology in our classrooms. So basically, there's certain frameworks, models that we need to know in order to apply any kind of technology in our classroom. The same as SciOp that has a specific pattern for class creations. We have the same thing, but for technology integration. So that will be part of day 2. On day 3, we will have, I think this is the fun day, because I will be providing all the tools needed for different applications depending on the skill that we want to practice, or we want to teach and improve for our students. So that will be day 3. Then day 4, we will have our international guest, which is Mr. Lesniak, and he will be providing information regarding adaptive learning when it comes to artificial intelligence. And day 5, we will see how to work on and explore the responsible use of AI in classroom and academic perspective. Something that is a little bit, I would say, a little bit, there is like an ambiguous situation of the uses of AI for academic purpose. So many discussions regarding like if it is good or bad or if it is beneficial or not. We will see this specific issue the last day on Friday. Okay. So for our first module, we will have foundations of AI in English language teaching. So as I mentioned, today we are going to explore very important concepts of, for example, what's artificial intelligence, what is machine learning, deep learning, different type of artificial intelligence that we will be exploring today and in the future, tomorrow and especially day 3. And also we will have some live demonstrations of how to navigate in a chatbot. Also, we will see some frameworks regarding prompt engineering, which is really important. Remember that most of the times, in order to have a successful interaction with artificial intelligence, we need to know how to interact with the machine. So these are the main, I would say, one of the main information that we are going to learn and apply today. So as I mentioned, one of the first points will be understanding basic concepts of AI and its educational impact. We're going to explore ChatGPT as a teaching and learning tool. So I would recommend that if you don't have ChatGPT and a ChatGPT account, I will invite you to open it as soon as you can. It's not really needed to do the activities or practice with me using ChatGPT. I always recommend ChatGPT because it's the most powerful AI tool so far out there in the market. However, any chatbot will do the job. Call it Gemini, Copilot, DeepSeek. There are many out there. So for today, probably it's fine if you use any of those I previously mentioned. But ChatGPT, I think, is the most common one, and it's easy to. You don't even have to sign up. You can use the free version, and I think well, from what I know, because I have the premium version, but I think you can use it without signing up. So if you have a Gmail account, I guess you do. You can use Gemini. You only need a Gmail account, and that's it. Okay. And also we are going to develop some skills in effective prompt engineering. Remember that here the key is to know how to interact. We need to know how to interact with artificial intelligence. This is the key. I know that well, I heard people saying, hey, Abdias, but you know, like every time I ask something to ChatGPT, it gives me something different every day, every time I request a specific thing. It's because we're not following in a specific structure of requesting information. So basically our input our input, meaning what we provide, has to have a specific structure. And that's why we're going to learn some frameworks, prompts frameworks to be more efficient when it comes to providing input. So here, the most important part is having a good input gives me a good output. So most of the times, if you don't provide a good input, we will end up having something that we probably didn't want to, or it's not fully what we wanted to get. So really important to pay attention to prompt engineering, because this is the key in order to use all the tools that I will be providing in the next 2 days. In the next 2 days, we will be using all the chatbots available. That some of them are they have a free version, but I will explain that in 2 days. Also, not only we will be working on chatbots mainly, but I would like to provide more tools for example, lesson plans, creation, text to image tools like DALL-E, DreamLab, Leonardo AI. There are plenty out there. They have like, I will try to provide the free versions. You know that when it comes to AI tools, they're very limited, meaning that you have like certain tokens to use per day. But there are some that they're like really, really worth it to spend money. But still, my idea is that you could work for free with the tools that I will be providing. But yeah, again, even if it is a tool that's a chatbot, if it is a tool for visual creations or lesson planning, even music, there is one for music for a song creator for educational purpose. All of that needs to have a good foundation of what prompt engineering is. This is the key. If you want to stop fighting with ChatGPT or with any AI tool, we need to learn what's the specific pattern that we have to follow. Okay. And then we're going to reflect on ethical considerations for using AI in English teaching, of course. It is really controversial whether AI is good for our classrooms. Is it good for our students to use in the classroom? We will be exploring some of these issues. At the end, and I can tell, still there is not such universal rule of how to use AI. Remember that this AI have existed for many years, but right now is probably the last 5-7 years is when people actually started to use it for our daily basis. So it's something new to discuss. And I think everything that we do regarding artificial intelligence, it's something that we can add to the global discussion. Okay. So before we start, I would like you to go to Mentimeter. If you can scan the QR code and tell me what do you expect to learn in this seminar, I will be more than glad to have your responses. in case you cannot scan it, I will share on chat the link so you can participate. Okay, give me just 1 second. Okay. Give me 1 second. Okay, let me know if you got the link on chat. And also for those who wants to scan it, let me share again my screen. Person. Okay, perfect. So I will give you like 2 minutes. So you can, if you don't have access to Mentimeter, you can do it on chat. It doesn't matter. But I would really like to hear from you of your expectations. And also, if you would like to share it right now, that's fine too. Okay. Okay, so let me read some of your comments here. So I'd like to know more about AI. Okay, perfect. You will know plenty of AI this week. That will be for sure. Thank you. Techniques. Yeah, as I mentioned, there is um, using AI tools can be tricky if you don't know how to properly navigate into these tools. So for today, we're going to learn some techniques of how to interact with AI, um, how to put into practice AI with my students. Good. To apply technology related to AI in the classroom, perfect. To apply technology related to AI in the classroom, yes. Expect to know how AI works in providing genuine activities and resources. Excellent. Yeah, I see that most of the expectations are really similar. So yeah, better prompts. Yeah, perfect. So something that is deniable here is whether you. I think I have taught in all levels of education, university level, elementary level, middle school, high school. I'm currently teaching at ITSE, Instituto Técnico Superior Especializado, and also working in elementary school as an English teacher for 2nd and 3rd grade. Let me tell you something. My third graders, they know about AI. They know like, hey teacher, how do you create this image with AI, right? So they know. Imagine they know. Probably they don't use it in the classroom, but they know. They are aware that there are certain things that are created with AI tools. So imagine for university level when students want to provide an essay that looks very sophisticated and suspicious as well. So we know that students are using this. We know that they will keep using it. And we need to not only know how to use it, but how to detect it. Because and here's when it comes the ethical part of it. So it is really important to educate our students of responsible usage of AI. So this is one of the things that we are going to cover during this week. Because it's not only teacher use, but how can my students, use these tools that doesn't disrupt their learning. So it's kind of tricky, and I know it would sound impossible to do it, but once the students know that you use it, and once they know that you're aware of how to use it and how to detect it, they will hesitate a little bit of the way they use it. And if you embrace it and use it in the classroom, I think AI or any artificial intelligence tool will not be something that is an object of controversy, I would say. So it's really important to not only teachers know how to use it to prepare classes and all of that, but how to provide this information to our students so they use it in a very responsible and effective way. So those are two important things that we need to consider when it comes to responsible AI usage. Okay, so yeah, I think we are all in the same page. We are all on the same page. Okay, so let me see what's going on in the chat. Okay, perfect. Yeah. We have a Google Classroom section. I will explain what's in later for today's seminar. So I think it will be, I will first finish everything that I have to discuss today, and then I will explain what the content of the first day is all about. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, so let's go back to the slide. So learning from your expectations, I don't think I have to change anything for the coming days. So that's good, I think. Okay, perfect. Let's continue. So first of all, what is artificial intelligence? I guess we all know, but let's explore some of there are many concepts, there are many definitions of what AI is all about, but I think I will stick with this definition. So the definition says that artificial intelligence refers to computer systems capable of performing tasks that typically require human intelligence, such as problem solving, learning, and decision making. Yeah. So in few words, I would say that AI is any kind of device that tries to imitate, listen to this word, imitate humans' intelligence. It will never be better than humans. It will never have the ability to think as humans, but it will imitate as close as it can. So we have to have this very clear, that this is not some Terminator kind of situation where they will take control of everything and destroy humanity. That won't happen from what I know. From what I know, I don't know what the Chinese know. I don't know what the Americans know. I don't know what in other countries know about AI, but this is based on public knowledge. This is what we know, right? um, And it's something that is really common, more than you think. Why? Because this stuff that you see here, this is a phone. This has artificial intelligence. Every time you go and do a yappy to someone, that there is some artificial intelligence involved somehow in it. Every time you use Waze because you can remember how to come back, or you want to get some shortcuts to get to a specific destination, you're using AI. So everything, every time you get an email, and that email goes to the spam or junk, it happens because of AI. So AI is in our daily basis, and we need to know that, you know, this is something normal. This is something that we use every day, and it's not some sci-fi kind of situation. It's here. It's been here for many years, and this is something that what makes it new is that now we are using this for educational purpose, but it's been here so long ago. Okay, so far, any question regarding artificial intelligence or any comment? You can chat. You can go in the chat section. You can tell me, open your mic and tell me. No? Yes, maybe. Okay, perfect. Nice. Okay, let's continue. So, as I mentioned, there are different types of AI. As we know, this is something that we use in our daily basis, and it is everywhere. So let's start for the first type of AI, which is narrow AI. So the definition of narrow AI is for task specific. So what does that mean? Basically, a narrow AI is something that is pre-programmed for a specific purpose. So for example, if you have an iPhone, you will say, "Hey Siri, can you help me? Can you help me with to create a reminder?"
Okay, I found this on the web for can you help me? Can you help me with to create a reminder?
Okay, so as you see, this Siri is pre-programmed to assist to specific things that my phone can do, right? Cannot do anything else. If I ask him how to deal with naughty students that that doesn't want to behave well, and asking what I can do, he won't. He won't help me with that because he's pre-programmed to do a specific task. The same happens with Google Assistant. Some models of ChatGPT are pre-programmed to help you for specific purposes like programming, decoding. There are also some features of ChatGPT or maybe any other chatbot that are pre-programmed for specific tasks. Another example would be Google Maps, Waze. Those every time you go to your online banking app, those tools are pre-programmed to help you for specific things that are related to what the tool or the app is aiming to. Okay. So any question regarding narrow AI? What it does, examples. Any comment?
So far, so good, Professor.
Thank you. Okay, perfect. So basically, we would say that narrow AI is the baby version of what AI can actually do. Doesn't mean that they're not helpful. They're helpful for what they were made, right? So Alexa, Echo, all those things are really helpful, very handy to have, but they cannot go out of what they were programmed in the first place. So let's continue with the second section, which is general AI, which is something hypothetical. Why? Because we haven't yet reached that that level of efficiency for any artificial intelligence tool or program, right? Because the thing with general AI is that it will reach to the similar level of human intelligence. They will be able to reasoning without us asking, because remember, these things work because of an input. And I'm not talking about chatbots only, but every time you use Waze, you have to type or at least look for your destination in order for Waze to operate, right? It won't work by itself. So, and there is no tool AI powered that works by itself. If you don't ask to ChatGPT, it won't tell you anything. If you don't say, Alexa, could you whatever, it won't do anything. So as I mentioned, it won't work unless you provide an input. So what people are trying to achieve with general AI is an automated tool that can think for itself, that can actually provide like information with a good reasoning behind, that can feel like humans do, that can understand the world where we live. It sounds scary. Probably that is something that I wouldn't like to witness. But you know, it happens. There is something called the dead valley. The dead valley. So what is a dead valley? Have you ever experienced that you watch something that looks like human or looks like it is real, but you know that it's not real? Like have you seen those videos out there of androids, like robots, trying to pretend to be human even though they look human-like, but you know for sure that is not human, of the way it moves, of the way it talks. And that actually kind of makes you feel uncomfortable, even though your brain tries to assimilate that this is human behavior, but it's not. And that visualization of that thing makes you feel kind of nervous, right? So that is Death Valley. That's something that happens in our brains that make you think that, well, this is not human, so be careful, even though it tries to be human. So yeah, Uncanny Valley. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. So yeah, it's something that yeah, really that's really out there, and we as we progress with technology and artificial intelligence, is really mm, I would say there is an uncertainty of what's going to happen, right? So then we have machine learning. So machine learning, it's well, this is more related to computer science than the linguistic side of it. Doesn't mean that linguistics doesn't apply to this theory or concepts related to machine learning, but basically an easy way to describe what machine learning is the way machines or any device try to learn from humans, to learn certain patterns, to facilitate certain tasks. Computers do that, our phones do that. So it is something that it's been going on since we created the first computer. However, of course, it's been improving by year by year, and that's the reason why there are some situations where sorry, where you are, I don't know, having a conversation with someone about, I don't know, going to Playa Blanca, and then out of the blue you would you have a specific situation where then you go on social media, call it Facebook, YouTube or Instagram, and out of the sudden you will have ads related to that thing. Well, it's machine learning at its finest, learning from you. Every time you I don't know, Google something, you want to buy something, you're planning to do something, then everything, the algorithm, as you see here, will do its stuff, and it will provide things that you're interested in. So because it's learning from your own preference. New chatbots like Copilot, ChatGPT are working on the improvement of machine learning in order to provide these type of experience. Of course, they won't be telling you what to buy or where to go. But if you use your ChatGPT account very frequent, or Copilot, or any AI chatbot, it will basically learn from the things that you usually do and interact in the chatbot. So if I'm an English teacher and I'm always looking for ways to I would say I would look for ways to create a lesson plan based on PSYOP model, for example, or creating worksheets or reading, so any kind of resources or task, probably in 1 week or in 2 weeks, I don't have to provide again like a big amount of information re-explaining what I would like to do. So probably after 1 week of planning, you don't have to, for example, mention that it's a SIOP model. It will automatically create the lesson plan based on SIOP model because that's your preference. So you don't have to, again, explain in detail what exactly you're expecting to get from your input. So that's machine learning, also working with AI tools. So it's really important that if these tools will learn from us, let it learn well. So you're doing your stuff in a good way, so it will provide good responses and not the opposite. And then we have deep learning, which is something like very abstract that is like difficult to put in words. But basically, that goes beyond machine learning. Why? Because with the case of deep learning is that we create a system where there is a device, there is a machine, a computer device that has its own brain that basically works the same way of how the brain actually performs in a human brain. So this is a very sophisticated type of AI. We've seen some of these tools out there, but not really available for normal people, I would say. That will be for the NASA, for Google, for these companies that really manage like a huge amount of information. So they need to have their own system of how to process large data sets and stuff. So really something that not really apply for this seminar, but it's really important to know that it exists and we are aiming to that final goal one day. So the same way machine learning was theoretical back then in the 50s, 60s, and then became through as well, probably before those years. But what I mean is like there are things that first are not available for everyone, and once it's safe and everyone can do it and it's cheap to produce, it will be available. So hopefully devices that are deep learning integrated will be available someday. Okay, so far, any question? Oh, okay. Okay. Can you provide examples of deep learning? Well, basically, ChatGPT, well, OpenAI is the company, right, that created the ChatGPT chatbot. They have, I would say, like a mother computer that is physically somewhere in the world that receive all our tasks, right? So that computer, that computer machine, however you want to call it, that machine has its own, basically its own brain with its own neural networks sorry, and it will think by itself. It will think by itself, but still framed for what it was created in the first place, which is provide answers based on what we request, right? So that's why That's why, have you noticed that when you use a free version, even the paid version, the paid version will tell you like, hey, you have to wait at least 30 minutes, 20 minutes to start requesting stuff, because it has you have to give it some time to breathe, to take a break, because it cannot it have to do this in order to provide a service for other people requesting stuff around the world. So it actually have the same way the human brain would do certain task, but still we haven't achieved something like this that will think as a human being, as we know, feel, and any of that. It's still doing what we requested to do. I don't know if that answered your question. Okay, I have a new comment here. Just wonder of the AI marvelous things which can be used to assist humans. Yeah, so I don't know. Like I remember when I was little, I used to watch a movie. I still don't remember. I think it was Spy Kids. I think that's the name. And they got into like a version there. I don't remember if it was Spy Kids 2 or 3, where they have to travel to a virtual world. And I back then I was like, oh my God, that's impossible. That will be like in 40 years, 50 years. And I bought like for 3-4 months ago, I met a Quest 3, which is a device for virtual reality. And once you use that thing, you feel like you're actually there. It's kind of dangerous because you kind of forget that you're still in the real realm, and you can create some accidents by using that stuff. But if I go 20 years in the past and I use that, everyone would think I'm doing some witchcraft or I'm coming from the future or whatever, because it's something like really sophisticated. And tools like this and tools like ChatGPT and Gemini are really incredible for what they were made. So it's really incredible that technology is advancing so fast, and as it advances, we need to go according to those things that are going on in the present. Okay, so any question regarding type of artificial intelligence? Any comment regarding type of AI?
Well, I have a comment.
Mhm.
Yeah, are you listening to me? Yeah, can you listen to me?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, perfect.
Well, I heard when you said that artificial intelligence can feel. First, you were explaining about the thinking, and then, well, here I have a comment. The ones that feel are us. We are the ones that feel, but there it's a fact which we can ask, we can request according to the prompt that we use. That, and I understood that with the usage of AI, the feeling or the affective or the type or emotional response we would like to. So everything is in regards or depends on the type of prompt that we ask. And then it helps us to understand what is actually, how can I say, the process there. It's a lots of information that artificial intelligence manage, and we can give them the input that we specifically will need, and then it will bring us through algorithm all kinds of suggestion and probably the very specific answers or response. So in that regards, and this is what we have gotten to the point now in evolution, and that's how I consider it with this technology, is that it accelerates tremendously speed and the time that and saves a lot of time. The one that will take a normal activity, like when we have to investigate, for example, we have to search an information, we need to read and process and then highlight and then summarize. Well, artificial intelligence, just in a brink of minutes, can review that information for us. And that's how it works. And that's how I see it. I don't know if I am mistaken, or it is more or less what you were trying to explain. What's the benefit of artificial intelligence? Of course, a lot. And the third comment is that it fits itself. It gives or receives information, and all of these prompts that we do whenever something is new, it's adding to their own processing. Okay, so every time it would be at some point something fathomless. There will be no limits for the type of information and solutions that we bring and provide. That's how I see it. Thank you very much for your listening.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your insights, actually. But yeah, I would say that when it comes to feelings, artificial intelligence, I mentioned when I started is that AI will always imitate human behavior, but will never reach to the point where it just acts like human, because they're not. But for example, like if you're working on SEL, which is social emotional learning, right? Something that it's a little bit new, a new concept, I would say. It's really it can really help you with, like helping out how to provide a safe environment for your students, how to provide certain I would say strategies in order to make your students feel safe, feel happy. But at the end of the day, he is not the one interacting with your students. And it could say whatever, but at the end, it's not the same. And I think we teachers know this. Like when we have a concept, like for example, classroom management, we can all know everything about it. We could have I don't know, read a whole book regarding classroom management, but at the end of the day, it like is really to say what classroom management is, but very difficult to apply and experience, because humans are difficult beings to interact. Even a whole human being, one human being, cannot even understand himself, herself, of why am I doing this? Should I do this? Should I do that? So we are very unpredictable. And this is something that AI cannot do, because as I mentioned, it's pre-programmed to respond or to do specific things.
Esperanza se fue, pues.
So, but
Fue
yeah.
Esperanza. ¿Cuántos años tenía?
So yeah, basically, this is something that it will, like, if we sit down and discuss about this, it will take days. As I mentioned, like it's really important as teachers, we start talking about this, doing research about this, because this is something that it's really new for everyone in the educational field, and every single contribution is a plus, because have you ever seen let's say an official manual of how to use ChatGPT or how to interact with AI? You might find some manuals or instructional books, or you go on Amazon and find like books like 200 prompts for educational purpose, things like that. Yeah, doesn't mean that they don't work, but what I'm trying to say here is that we are unpredictable. AI is it never give the responses that we would like to get as we interact day by day. It doesn't, even if you ask the same thing again, it will give you something totally different. So it is like the way we interact with AI, especially with those that have some machine learning integrated. There is a space for everyone to provide opinions, to provide any kind of advice of how to use these tools, because there are still people figuring out how to use it. Even the people that created these devices, these things, they, in their websites like OpenAI, they don't give you a manual, even though they created ChatGPT. There are still people. That's why there are forums and stuff that actually it's a space for everyone to share how they learn how to do a certain task. So again, I think the more we use it, the more we learn from it. And even if you use it every day for different kind of purposes, it's still something that we need to explore, learn more. As you know, the ChatGPT started with one model, and then today we have like 6, 7 model. 2 weeks ago, a new model came out, which is the 4.5, which is really good. You should try it out because it improves some reasoning. And also there is a situation that happens with AI that you have to be careful. I don't remember if I will do it at the end, but I will give you the premise right now. So AI, any kind of AI tool, has something called AI hallucination. What does that mean? If the artificial intelligence tool doesn't know something, it will try to explain to you something that probably doesn't exist, that is not really factual, is wrong, but it will try to convince you that it is correct. So that's why it is important to verify everything that you get from AI. And actually, there are like a little statement below the chatbot in ChatGPT. I think it happens on other AI tools, that says that you need to verify information before you use it for specific purposes. So it gives you a disclaimer, because it can provide things that are not correct. So we have to be careful with that. But of course, that's one little thing among all the benefits that you can get from using AI. It's the same way as we do research. We have to go and check if everything is indeed correct. So it will be the same thing as us doing research about anything. Okay, so let's move on. So, as I mentioned previously, narrow AI is artificial intelligence that is designed to perform a specific task efficiently, such as voice assistants like Alexa, Siri. I think we're all familiar with this. Or chatbots like ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot, etc. And it operates within predefined boundaries and cannot generalize knowledge beyond its program function. So as I said, Waze will do what Waze was pre-programmed to do, which is providing destinations, better roads for you to get faster to where you go. So it will really do exactly what it was designed to do. Okay. So general AI or strong AI, as is known out there. So it's a hypothetical form of AI that would possess human-like intelligence, allowing it to reason, learn, and adapt to different tasks across multiple domains without specific programming. It remains theoretical and does not exist yet. Even though it says that it does not exist yet, formally, there are people out there trying to use it. So, for example, in some video games, if you're familiar with, or if you have heard any kid in your home, in your family, there are some characters in the in those games that, depending of how you interact with that character, will react in different ways. So let's say you are a cowboy and you interact with a character that is programmed with this kind of AI. If you're nice to that character, it will treat you nice back. But if you try to do certain things that will make it feel in danger, so it will react aggressively. So even though, as I mentioned, even though it's not formally out there, there's still some specific situations where programmers are trying to apply this strong AI in different, I would say, in different platforms. Then we have machine learning. As I mentioned, it's a branch of AI that enables systems to learn from data, identify patterns, and make decisions without being explicitly programmed, right? Like smartphones, like social media, right? It powers applications like recommendation system, fraud detection, and predictive analytics. Okay, so I think we are good with that. And then finally, we have deep learning, which is a subset of machine learning that uses artificial neural networks to process vast amounts of data and recognize complex patterns. So actually, when it comes to this specific thing, there is a ramification of linguistics. There is neurolinguistics, and here is where we experts in linguistics go to action, provide certain insights regarding how the brain processes human language. So it's really interesting. We're not that far from artificial intelligence and how it works. It's very close to linguistic, more than you think. So if you go out there, go to, I don't know, LinkedIn, follow, you follow accounts like Duolingo, Microsoft, Google. Most of the things that they will be hiring is people that has some expertise in linguistics. So yeah, we are needed for this. We are needed because we know how language works. That's why we teach it. So it's really important that if we have certain knowledge when we start learning about AI and how machine learning works, we in the future are the ones that will, well, not in the future. Right now, most of the people that train AI tools are linguists. So we are needed. We are here as language experts. Remember that everything, all about AI, all about machine learning, all about these kind of things, it's for communication. It's about language. It's about how language works. So we are the main experts because programming, as I learned, we all can do it. You just need to study, and that's it. Study, learn it, apply. But here, we as expertise in linguistics is where we actually understand the language and how these tools should interact with people. And I invite you to do extra research regarding this, because we are very close to what people nowadays are working on regarding artificial intelligence. Okay. So I would like you to participate here with your mic and tell me what is the relationship between AI, linguistics, and teaching English? Can somebody? There is not a right or wrong answer, so don't be afraid to provide what you think of this question.
Hello.
Hello.
Here, Lucy Chow.
Hi.
I've been using I think I've been using AI for pronunciation, helping pronunciation. We have some websites that use it, and students can upload text there and listen how it should be pronounced by a robot, so they can practice repeating the pronunciation. That's how I use it in phonetics, for example.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, there are many apps, tools out there that can actually help students to identify certain pronunciation patterns and do some reading aloud with feedback provided. Actually, that's one of the tools that we're going to learn on day 3, which is reading progress and speaking progress. It's a tool created by Microsoft Teams, so it will really enhance the way we assess speaking and reading skills. Thank you. Who else?
Hi, hello.
Hi.
Well, I think that we have many similarities. For example, we have teachers use models, techniques, methodologies, strategies to help our students to learn. So artificial intelligence use models to provide us the way to teach different things too. For example, help us to given activities, to provide feedback. We provide feedback to our students, given a track for the progress of our student, as our co-workers say, help us to interact with them, to help them to teach phonetic, for morphology, syntax, grammar. So I think that we are very familiar to them.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. AI tools can provide different kind of feedbacks, and we have to remember that whenever we are teaching, probably there are certain students that they have family members that know English, so they can practice outside the classroom. But what about those students that doesn't have anybody which is fully bilingual, or they don't have opportunities where they can travel or have a good amount of interaction with people that speak English natively? So AI tools like ChatGPT, like some others, can function as tutors that can provide some feedback, some information, some help, assistance for those students that want to practice the language asynchronously. So, you know, I would always say that it's okay that our students use these tools. However, we need to be responsible of teaching. Besides English, besides any language, we have to be responsible on teaching our students how to use AI, because I have met students that say, yeah, I use AI for practicing English. Oh, cool. What do you do? Well, when they start to, explaining how they use it, at the end is just they write in the instructions on the AI generating the sentences, the homework itself. And I'm like, well, no, that's not how you should be using it, because when it comes to the AI do and you do, there is only AI do, but not you do. So it is really important to teach them how to use it, because they will think they're using it in a very effective way, but at the end they're just like using it for lazy purpose. So I think a good start would be teaching, well, if you have middle or high school or university level students that can actually understand more complex concepts like prompt engineering, that would be amazing. Okay. Anyone else? Okay. So, yeah. Let me move this. Okay. So here is some graphics that I would like to share with you of how linguistics is related to machine learning and any type of artificial intelligence. Okay. So here it says that large-scale language models which is LLMs, such as ChatGPT, DeepSeek. DeepSeek is a new chatbot, very similar to ChatGPT. Actually, I would say that it is suspiciously very similar to ChatGPT. It's a Chinese chatbot. And Cloudy are artificial intelligence systems trained on huge amounts of text to understand, generate, and manipulate natural language. And these models do not understand language like humans do, but instead use principles derived from computational linguistics and natural language processing, which is NLP, to predict the structure and meaning of words in a given context. So basically, the way it analyzes text or any kind of document, audio, even video, will do it in a very deep. It will go to a deep analysis of the content itself, the input that we are providing. How it happens in that analysis will involve pragmatics, which is interpreting language by intention and context. So, for example, if I say that I want to create in a specific class or specific activity for students that are all boys and they are a Jewish Orthodox. They come from a Jewish Orthodox school where I come from in elementary school. That's in a very specific that's a very specific setting for you to work on. So this pragmatic point of view will actually play out as providing, the necessary tools, the necessary information for that is aimed to these kind of students. Okay, so AI will analyze what an Orthodox Jewish school is about, and will provide information based on this specific context and depending on the intention for my activity. If it is a speaking activity, if it is a reading and writing activity, it will provide it based on this specific context. So that is where pragmatic trade takes place. Let me check here then. Okay, yeah. Then it comes semantics. So it will analyze the meaning of words in context. For example, DeepSeek, Gemini, ChatGPT can actually or understand certain words that are not like really easy to understand unless you have some social and cultural background. Like, for example, words in Spanish like empalagoso. This is a specific word. This is a specific word that probably it is difficult to translate or to interpret in English, right? So these tools can actually understand what the background of the word is in order to provide a right meaning and usage in what is providing to as an output. Okay. Then syntax, because the way you say things matters. That's why it is really important to have a good input in order to have a very well output, if you will, because it's if you don't provide things it should goes, it will have some misunderstandings the way we humans do when we speak. So it is really important to know how to organize ideas, and this is where syntax takes place. And morphology, of course, because it's just basic language and linguistics concepts that it would apply because it's language, and language, regardless of the language you speak, it will have all these things integrated. Okay, so it was just like a very brief explanation of how linguistics and our field will could be applied in, well, it's not could be applied, it's applied for artificial intelligence and anything regarding to machine learning, deep learning, and all of that. Okay, we will have a video. However, we only have 3 minutes. So, any question so far? Any comment? Not all at the same
Just a
time.
comment. That's how it makes us, I mean, it is so well programmed that it makes us believe that the computer really knows linguistics, and it doesn't. And if you try to work on an exercise or something with ChatGPT, you have to be careful because sometimes they make a lot of mistakes. Once I asked ChatGPT to write a test of past tenses, and there were present tenses involved there, and the questions I wanted were all in the past tense, and those were the indications. So we always have to check, because the machine, I mean, is programmed by humans, and we have to know that we know more than them. What else? Thank you.
Let's see if we have question here. It says amazing, thank you. So do not forget to fill out the form, the attendance list form that is being shared here in the chat box, okay? So if there is no question, we are going to take 15 minutes break, and then we're going to be back at 10:15, okay?
Me están oyendo.
chance to have coffee, tea, or water. Stretch your muscles. So now we will continue with the second block of this seminar, and then we pass on to ideas.
Okay, welcome back. I hope you have space for having a break and breathe. I actually have to go out of this office because it's very, very cold. And I don't like cold places, but here I am. Okay, nice. Let's continue. So let me share here my screen. Okay. Perfect. So here we have a short videos, like 6 minutes, that I would like to share with you. That basically summarize everything that we have been discussing so far. So let me play the video here. Okay. Are you able to see the video? Yes. No?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Perfect. Can you hear it? Yes.
Yes, yes, perfect.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
Hey everyone, welcome to Simply Learn. Today's video will compare and contrast artificial intelligence, deep learning, machine learning, and data science. But before we get started, consider subscribing to Simply Learn's YouTube channel and hit the bell icon. That way you'll be the first to get notified when we post similar content. Before moving on, let me ask you two interesting queries. Which among the following is not a branch of artificial intelligence? Data analysis, machine learning, deep learning, neural networks. And the second query is, what is the main difference between machine learning and deep learning? Please leave your answer in the comments section below, and stay tuned to get the answer. First, we will unwrap deep learning. Deep learning was first introduced in the 1940s. Deep learning did not develop
Professor
suddenly,
Adriel,
it developed slowly.
the video is not moving.
The video is not moving.
No, no,
Is
it's
it
not
for-
moving. It's just on the first slide that said watch now.
Is it for everyone?
Yes, it
Yes.
is. It is only audible,
Yes.
but it is not running
Yeah.
the video.
I can hear the audio, but we cannot see the
Okay.
screen moving.
Let me fix that.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yes, now it's
Yeah,
working.
no, yes.
Okay, perfect.
Hey everyone, welcome to Simply Learn. Today's video will compare and contrast artificial intelligence, deep learning, machine learning, and data science. But before we get started, consider subscribing to Simply Learn's YouTube channel and hit the bell icon. That way you'll be the first to get notified when we post similar content. Before moving on, let me ask you two interesting queries. Which among the following is not a branch of artificial intelligence?
Hi. It's frozen.
I think it's his internet connection. Let's check.
Yes, it is frozen. Probably it's his screen.
Professor Luque is gone.
I'm sorry. Probably the connection kicked me out. Go back to the video.
To 2000. Thanks to companies like Facebook and Google, the term
Okay, can you hear it and see it?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Perfect.
deep learning has gained popularity and may give the perception that it is a relatively new concept. Deep learning can be considered as a type of machine learning and artificial intelligence, or AI, that imitates how humans gain certain types of knowledge. Deep learning includes statistics and predictive modeling. Deep learning makes processes quicker and simpler, which is advantageous to data scientists to gather, analyze, and interpret massive amounts of data. Having the fundamentals discussed, let's move into the different types of deep learning. Neural networks are the main component of deep learning, but neural networks comprise three main types, which contain artificial neural networks, or ANN, convolution neural networks, or CNN, and recurrent neural networks, or RNN. Artificial neural networks are inspired biologically by the animal brain. Convolutional neural networks surpass other neural networks when given inputs such as images, voice, or audio. It analyzes images by processing data. Recurrent neural networks uses sequential data or series of data. Convolutional neural networks and recurrent neural networks are used in natural language processes, speech recognition, image recognition, and many more. Machine learning. The evolution of ML started with the mathematical modeling of neural networks that served as the basis for the invention of machine learning. In 1943, neuroscientist Warren McCulloch and logician Walter Pitts attempted to quantitatively map out how humans make decisions and carry out thinking processes. Therefore, the term machine learning is not new. Machine learning is a branch of artificial intelligence and computer science that uses data and algorithms to imitate how humans learn, gradually increasing the system's accuracy. There are three types of machine learning, which include supervised learning. What is supervised learning? Well, here, machines are trained using labeled data. Machines predict output based on this data. Now, coming to unsupervised learning, models are not supervised using a training data set. It is comparable to the learning process that occurs in the human brain while learning something new. And the third type of machine learning is reinforcement learning. Here, the agent learns from feedback. It learns to behave in a given environment based on actions and the result of the action. This feature can be observed in robotics. Now, coming to the evolution of AI. The potential of artificial intelligence wasn't explored until the 1950s, although the idea has been known for centuries. The term artificial intelligence has been around for a decade. Still, it wasn't until British polymath Alan Turing posed the question of why machines couldn't use knowledge like humans do to solve problems and make decisions. We can define artificial intelligence as a technique of turning a computer-based robot to work and act like humans. Now let's have a glance at the types of artificial intelligence. Weak AI performs only specific tasks, like Apple's Siri, Google Assistant, and Amazon's Alexa. You might have used all of these technologies, but the types I am mentioning after this are under experiment. General AI can also be addressed as artificial general intelligence. It is equivalent to human intelligence, hence an AGI system is capable of carrying out any task that a human can. Strong AI aspires to build machines that are indistinguishable from the human mind. Both general and strong AI are hypothetical right now. Rigorous research is going on this matter. There are many branches of artificial intelligence, which include machine learning, deep learning, natural language processing, robotics, expert systems, fuzzy logic. Therefore, the correct answer for which is not a branch of artificial intelligence is option A, data analysis. Now that we have covered deep learning, machine learning, and artificial intelligence, the final topic is data science. Concepts like deep learning, machine learning, and artificial intelligence can be considered a subset of data science. Let us cover the evolution of data science. The phrase data science was coined in the early 1960s to characterize a new profession that would enable the comprehension and analysis of the massive volumes of data being gathered at the time. Since its beginnings, data science has expanded to incorporate ideas and methods from other fields, including artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, and so forth. Data science can be defined as the domain of study that handles vast volumes of data using modern tools and techniques to find unseen patterns, derive meaningful information, and make business decisions. Therefore, data science comprises machine learning, artificial intelligence, and deep learning. I hope this was helpful. Thank you for watching, and happy learning.
Okay, pretty good. Very insightful, I would say. So basically, we are all kind of experts. Well, not experts, but we have some knowledge related to data science. So it's not something that really, we are, far away from it. We kind of navigate into these concepts every day without even knowing that we manage these concepts, probably not in the technical way, but we apply these concepts every day or every time we use AI tools. Okay, I would like you to go on the chat section, write some your takeaways from the video, any comment regarding the video, if there is something new that it was mentioned in the video, let me know. I give you like 1-2 minutes. Go on the chat section, comments. I'll have it here. Yeah, it has been known since 1960s. So it's been going around for so long. But you know, probably back then it was just theoretical, because we didn't have the technology to actually put all those concepts into a real application. Yeah, very interesting. Who else wants to comment, say something on chat? Yeah, so even though there is still very advanced technology regarding artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, all those concepts, we humans are unpredictable. So even though this advanced technology is trying to provide inside, like in a very insightful way, information, is the human brain, us human beings, the ones that make the last decision. So really important to know that. I would say that right now these technologies, what it does is to facilitate certain repetitive tasks for us to not waste too much time on paperwork or analysis, repetitive kind of analysis, and actually focus more on specific tasks that requires human brain, basically. Yeah, and it have evolved so much that right now, like every single app or tool that we have in hands is powered by these concepts mentioned here in the presentation and also the video. Yeah, it's probably people back then in the 60s, 40s, they will think of
Your phone, your device is off. Goodbye.
they will think of everything that we have right now, like Waze, Teslas that drive themselves, like sci-fi and something like very far from the future, but it's the present, and we are all using and enjoying these tools that are powered by these concepts of deep learning, machine learning. Yeah. So yeah, so with this comment of Chomsky generative grammar, it's really interesting about why. Because at the end of the day, when it comes to the creation of any kind of AI tool or concept of deep learning, machine learning, everything that, I mean, the first thing that you have to notice here is that everything has to do with language. So you need people that are experts in language, and it's really something that we have to have as our takeaways of today, that we language teachers are the future. We linguists are the future, because we are the ones, I mean, programming, of course, people that are programmers and all of that, they are important, of course. However, we language teachers are the one that will be training these tools, as I mentioned, Duolingo, Microsoft, Google are hiring linguists because they consider that we are the only one with the expertise of trying to train these devices, these tools, until they get best responses or best uses of language. So take that in consideration.
I read, once I read, and it was recently, a couple of months ago, and I consider it a joke from Chomsky, because he's not actually, he doesn't favor, of course, the use of chatbots or artificial intelligence in the case of language. And it's true. I mean, we understand that as teachers, especially the ones that have linguistics as a specialization. And he said, well, one of the things is breaking all of the rules. Like, for example, not following any norm, like APA, how are you going to cite? And this is what he says, literally. He said, how are you going to cite all the authors that you have read or used to et al, ChatGPT, or ask AI, and then et al? So it was very, I think for me, it was hilarious what he said, because it is true. I mean, it's breaking all of the rules, even from the very simple, how are you going to cite what source if it is not from the authors themselves, but from the machine tool that does that for us. That was my comment.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, it's very troublesome waters to navigate, because there is no a concise pattern, or at least law or something that that is universal for everything regarding the usage of AI for different purpose, especially for academical purposes. But from what I read very recently is that for certain reference models like APA, I'm not sure. I have to check today, and I will let you know tomorrow. But I think it's being accepted that you can reference AI tools like ChatGPT. So whatever the ChatGPT generated, you can actually cite it on your reference. So really interesting, and
Right.
also
No.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure. No, I agree with that. It's not what he was trying to, well, two good things that I got from that is comment, coming from Chomsky himself. One of the things that it would be, since it is a new science, it would transform and change everything. There would be new ruling coming, new norms to be applied, and how to use them, as you say. It is not not to use them, but how are you going to use it? And then also it will probably give us a different and new regulations on how to use it. But it is a completely new science or study field, and it is on the process in development. That's what I meant.
Yeah, thank you for your comment. It's really something new when it comes to the field of education. So everything that we try to do using AI, it's probably you're doing something that nobody has ever done around the world. So I say that it's really important to share what we do regarding these tools, because we need to have a community where we need to share some information, some anecdotes, some advices related to AI usage, because it's new. Everyone is trying to, like try to figure out how to use AI for reading purposes, for writing purposes, for and these tools manage a huge amount of data. So as I always say, you could do whatever you want to do, even if you want to tell ChatGPT how to teach English to a fish, it will try the way to tell you how you could actually teach English to a fish. So if it goes to something as ridiculous as that situation, that of course it won't happen. Imagine all the things that you can come up with. Remember that we are all teachers, we're all English teachers, we're all professionals in most of us in the field of linguistics, but we have different backgrounds. So in my case, I use AI for the reason of adaptive learning, which is something that Mr. Lesnia will be discussing on Thursday. But for example, I work in an Orthodox Jewish school, and if you ask me what's the problem with that, the problem is that many things cannot be taught because of religious belief. Like, for example, if I go out on, because they don't have books or any kind of resources available in their school. So basically, if I have to look for resources on internet, but every time I go for resources on internet, I will find a reading saying like, Mario and Maria are playing soccer, let's say. But what's the issue? That Mario and Maria cannot be friends. Boy, girl cannot be friends according to religious belief. So, and it goes with other things like, what if I'm teaching food, vocabulary related to food? I have to make sure that the food I'm teaching is kosher, that there are certain rules that not combining milk with meat, and there are plenty of stuff that I have to be careful with. And I will never find such as readings, listenings, images that will actually portray the philosophy of the school. So what do I have to do? So I have to go to any AI tool that can generate that information for me based on my needs or my students' needs, or use these tools to fit in what the school can allow me to teach. So it's something like really tricky. And I would say, because I work in a religious school, but it can happen anywhere. Like if you're teaching in the countryside, and then you bring a reading comprehension to these students about this person in a mall, in a shopping mall. And probably there are some students that have never visited Panama City before. So that doesn't mean that they cannot know it, but probably as a first reading, they won't connect. They won't connect to the information, because it's not their reality. It's not what they do in their daily basis. So this is all about personalization of the classroom. So it's really important to take in consideration, because this is one of the things that we use it to personalize, not only for religious purposes, or because of a religious background, cultural background, or if a student has a disability, can actually be used for anything related to education and educational practices in general. So really interesting, really interesting. Okay, let me see what we have in the chat box. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Instagram, TikTok need they actually have an option where you have to well, you have the responsibility to tell your audience that this is AI created. And I think it's really important to do so because of course there are some videos and images that it looks uncanny valley that is not real. There is something that specific things that make you believe that it's not real. So we have to be careful with that because we can get in trouble by impersonating someone or providing information that is not ours. So really, really interesting. Okay, let's keep going because we have tons of things to do. Okay, so following what I was saying, AI in education is a vast field of things that we can do. Like, if you think of it, it is unlimited. There are tons of things that we can do with artificial intelligence in our classrooms. But let me show you some of the things that we can do. And also, this is not just something that it will stay here as a concept. We will try to incorporate this in day 3. We will do some. You have to be ready for day 3 because that will be a very I would say a very tough day. Not because what we're going to do it's difficult or impossible, but because we have to apply everything that we're learning to an actual activity that you can use right away after you finish your day 3 of seminar. Okay, so let's see. So the first thing that you can do, of course, is personalized learning environments. So as I mentioned, I work in a religious school. There are certain patterns that we have to follow, certain things that cannot be taught, cannot be mentioned, but still my main goal is to teach English or to teach Spanish or teach a language. So I have to, of course, I have to do my research first of things that the Jews can do and things that Jews cannot do. I have to make sure that there is a difference between non-Orthodox Jewish people and Orthodox Jewish people. So I have to feed this chatbot or any AI tool in order to have accurate results. Okay. The second one is automated feedback. For example, Grammarly, as one of our participants mentioned. It can provide feedback of things that you're doing wrong. Not only corrects it, but actually I think there are certain features that tells you the reason why it should be like this. So it's not just a matter of fixing and that's it, but like really telling you what exactly is wrong and how to improve your writing skills. On Microsoft Teams, there are several apps such as reading progress, speaking progress. There is another one even called search progress that you will have a specific task for the specific skill that you are trying to improve: speaking, reading, searching, how to get information from internet that is actually valid and accurate for for the kind of activity that you need this source to be used. I will be covering these tools on Wednesday, but it's not just an app that is powered by AI. The thing with this one is that it's providing feedback after you do that activity. So for example, Speaking Progress, which is an app on Teams, you can provide an assignment, and then let's say that you tell your students that they need to do a video response of a video or document or anything that they had to read before class. And once they speak, the AI will provide a feedback of how you speak. For example, if you have filler words, that is something that actually I have a problem with, and there's many people that have that problem, and so it will actually count how many times you do that during your speech, whether it is 1 minute, 10 minutes. It will give you feedback related to the pitch of your voice, if it is too monotone, if you have to improve certain things, but body language as well. Even if you're online, for the AI tool, body language will be if you look at the camera, if you're too close or too far away from the camera, and some others considerations can be evaluated and provide a feedback right away you finish. So I think it's a really good tool. And there are really good tools out there that provides feedback. Of course, that doesn't mean that this is to say something. It's not taking the place of the teachers. Of course, we need to provide feedback as well. Of course, we need to check if the feedback that is providing is accurate and correct. So that's why there are certain English proficiency tests like Duolingo that it's like the whole test is first evaluated by an AI tool, and then there has to be a human eye that need to corroborate that the information or the feedback that is being provided to the student is 100% accurate. So yeah, there are tools that can provide feedback, but we as teachers, as humans, we need to be the one that say, hey, this is correct. This is probably not something really accurate to evaluate. We're the one with the final word. That's what I'm trying to say. So we also have intelligent tutoring systems. Duolingo is one of those, actually, that can provide, I would say, a sort of information in a very specific way for you to learn something. Duolingo, there are several language apps that can help you out with that one. You can use chatbots to help you out with certain tasks only if you know how to provide a good prompt, which is something that we're going to cover really soon. And of course, chatbots for conversation practice. You can use it for English. You can let the chatbot know that, okay, I'm a level A1 student. You can tell him that, well, could you provide the conversation in both English and Spanish so I understand what's going on? And you can provide only it can provide only audio, just in case there is a person that is blind. So there's several things that you can do with the chatbots, and also not really just focus on language, but for anything. Let's say you're teaching English, but let's say your course is social studies, and you can ask, for example, ChatGPT to act as a famous person from history. Let's say Martin Luther King. So act as Martin Luther King, and let's have a conversation like if you were Martin Luther King. So of course you have to first try it out yourself alone to see if it actually behaving by as Martin Luther King. Even though we never met this person, we have an idea of how he would say things and react to certain things. So as I mentioned, you just need to have that sparkle, that idea, that creativity. The chatbots or any AI tool will help you out to make that come true. Okay. Any questions regarding AI in education? Any comment on chat?
Yeah, here I was wondering here in Zoom says AI companion, and sometimes I'm curious and touch it, and it says that the administrator has to allow the AI companion.
Mm-hmm.
How it works if for example, if I'm in a class and using Zoom like today, and one of my students will ask me to share the meeting results or questions or whatever. You think it's like that it's okay that they rely on that, or just like to try to make their own thing?
Well, actually, it's a little bit tricky, because if they rely on everything that the AI is providing, there is no like extra checking if everything that is being provided or as information or as feedback or anything like that is 100% accurate. We teachers, we experts in these things that we teach, we know what's correct and what's not. Our students don't. And here is where the uncertainty of knowing if something is correct or not. So it depends on what exactly we are getting feedback from, on what exactly our students are getting from these tools. So if it is something that it must be accurate when it comes to citing let's say citing a paper, factual information that needs to be correct in order to really understand a big concept. I think when it comes to those things, it's a little bit tricky. But if it is a student that is just learning English or any language, and they just need like a list of 30 vocabulary words related to business or technology, I think that will pass. And of course, when it comes to feedback, we need to validate that feedback. by telling the student, okay, it provides this, but actually it's not that bad. Like there are certain people that has this pitch of voice and it's not a big deal, even though the AI will tell you that the pitch of your voice or tone of voice is not totally acceptable for speaking, I would say. So yeah, it depends on that. Did I answer your question, or at least is that what you wanted to?
Yeah, well, kind of. We had the guts that sometimes, um, there's some students that can't cope with the rhythm of the class, and I feel because I felt like that someone is talking and I don't really understand what they are saying, and I think it would be good for me to have like something to help me, because what happened when I was at college was that those who couldn't understand very well the professors would ask a partner, like a classmate, to tell them ¿qué fue lo que dijo el profesor? And they would explain, like they would translate to the students, no? So I was thinking that this still happens. There are still people who don't understand the class, the concepts, and they would like to have like someone to help. And maybe that companion, I haven't used it, but I believe that's something that would make a report of what we have said here would be nice if I didn't understand the whole thing, because the next class I would be lost if I don't understand the concepts from today. So that's what I was thinking. Yes, of course, you answered my question, and I think I agree with you. It depends on what I want from the class. Of course, first of all, I would say make your own effort. But if you don't understand the class, it would be nice to have something to help. That's the thing. Thank you.
No, thank you for your comment, and it was really insightful. And yeah, and here is where personalized learning comes to action, because I will have a class, an English class that is focused on business, but then I will have students that they don't know the language, and they are, let's say, in English 3. There are 5 levels that are in English 3, and still they're not able to understand the language fully. And I have some students that are completely fluent in English, and some of them that they are on track. So as long as you let the student know how to use these tools, and what is acceptable and what you have to be careful, it's when it's actually our responsibility as teachers, tutors, to actually do extra teaching in how to use these apps. So it's really, really important, because you will have students like, let's say, it happened to me that there were some students that wanted to write simple sentences in present simple, let's say, and they wanted to create sentences in present simple using an adverb frequency. But then some of them, they thought I was not going to realize that they were using AI, and they created their sentences, but not really follow what the instruction was. And of course, was giving me the sentence with the grammatical structure that I was requesting, but then I noticed that it had coordinating conjunctions. It had, in some sentences, there was some passive voice, something that it would be like really, really difficult for a beginner to do and understand as well. And more if I know that they're not really managed to understand fully instructional classes in English, fully in English. So here is when we have to go and provide, okay, I know that you're struggling with this, but it's not a sin to use AI. You just have to know how to use it in order to get the best from it. Not just, okay, I completed the homework and that's it, bye-bye. And us as teachers will be also like being giving a blind eye to these kind of situations. Okay, the homework is done, is complete. So okay, I just give my I grade it, and I don't really check if it was created by the student or you know what each of the student can do after several weeks, months, interacting with those students. So you know what they can, you know what they cannot. So it's just a matter of creating a culture of these tools are here to stay. But yeah, you have to learn how to use it and when not to use it and when it's not necessary to actually use it. You can think by yourself. So yeah, really interesting. Okay, let's continue. So very brief here. So some of the things that we can do for to using education using AI is chatbots, which is our AI powered conversational tools. Some examples is ChatGPT, Google Bot, Duolingo bots, Gemini, Copilot, everything that is a chatbot with AI powered. Some of the benefits here is that you get an instant response availability, because let's be honest, sometimes we have a group of 40 students, 35 students, 30 students, and if I start providing feedback to each of one every time I explain or teach something, or I ask my students to complete a certain task, I will never finish. Let's say if you work as high school level or middle school or elementary school level, chances are that you have a class that is 40 minutes, 45 minutes, kind of like maximum 1 hour. You won't be able to cover the needs of all of them. So this is where we have these tools to help our students to, if they have a question that probably doesn't need my attention, doesn't need me to respond to this question. Here is where these tools can provide first an instant response. It will be available all the time if the student has the tool. And also, if it is something that was verified by the teacher, like, yeah, oh, indeed, this is a correct answer. This is, you validate the response of these chatbots. Then they can practice anytime because they know how to do it in a way that it will be correct information. And of course, the limitations are lack of emotional understandings. What does that mean? Certainly, we human beings needs to real human interaction. There, I would say that's always if it is something a positive interaction, because of if I get feedback from machines won't be like, hey, you did really good. Actually, I like the part where you were talking about your summer vacation. It was really good. I went to Disneyland when I was little and it was amazing. AI tools won't do that. They will actually correct what they are supposed to correct, but human interaction, those kind of words that like with those feelings, emotions, behind will never be provided and will never make or replace what a feedback from your teacher feel like, to feel accomplished, that you achieved how to do a specific thing and all of that. So really important that we cannot rely exclusively on feedback from machines, because we also need to feel validated by a real person. And of course, as I mentioned, there will be some occasional inaccuracies. So it's really important that there is a second eye, that is a person that is an expert in this regard, to provide that, yeah, this is indeed something that is correct, and you can go on and keep practicing with this. Okay. These are some of the activities that you might be doing, or you have done probably in the past. Of course, we will be covering this on Wednesday, but you will have some instant conversation practice, writing support, like summarizing, brainstorming, reading analysis, literature analysis, automated feedback on grammar and vocabulary, and also interactive vocabulary exercise. So the students can get the list of verbs or vocabulary words and ask the chatbot to create like an exercise, so the student can practice by himself or herself, and then the chatbot can provide can actually tell the student if the practice that he did was correct or not. So very interesting, the things that you can do. Okay, so I had the break here, but I forgot that there was a break already established. So let's continue. Okay, so there will be a live demonstration of, I know like most of you have used AI tools to a certain degree, but I don't think it's it will be a bad thing to just go through a chatbot and see everything it can do. So let me see. Let me see here. Okay. Is it ready? Okay. This is ChatGPT workplace. I think you all recognize this. So can you see what I see? Just to check that you're seeing what I see.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So I created a folder. So you see everything, just the things that we're going to see here. So of course, this is a chatbot. Here is the chat bar where you can write whatever you want. In case of ChatGPT and other AI tools like Copilot, there are some that have and some others that don't, which is models, right? So we have different models based on the type of task or work that you want to do. So I have the 4.5, which is good for writing and exploring ideas. The 4.0, which is great for most tasks. This is the one that you actually use. I don't know if you were aware of that. So that's basically the one that is established by default in your ChatGPT account. free or not, doesn't matter. The O1 uses advanced reasoning. So this is in cases you want to go deeper into certain tasks like reading analysis or analyzing database of or a document. Yeah, it will be good for those tasks. And this one, it will be great for the ones that use it for coding or anything related to computer science in general. Okay. So what else we have here? Yeah. So we have other tools. For example, you have DALL-E that can create images based on what I request on text. Then you have search, which will work as Google, basically. So you ask for something that if you prefer to get information not from what ChatGPT knows, but actually like searching on the internet and provide the source of the information that it's providing. So really useful. Here you can take a picture, you can upload any document or audio from your computer. And then if you have things on Google Drive, you can also upload it over there if you're using a Gmail account on the OpenAI website. Okay, so then you just ask whatever you want. I would say act as an expert in EFL. Okay. So you ask whatever you want and it will just provide what you're looking for, right? So we will go in depth with this, but I'm just showing you some of the things that it can do. So let's say that I want to provide a document from my computer. So let's say I wanted to, I want ChatGPT to analyze this document, which is a reading comprehension assessment that I had for one of my classes. So of course it would read the document and it will tell me what the document is all about. So it's basically telling me how I'm grading my students based on the assessment, right? The exercise. Okay. Other things that ChatGPT can do that maybe others can't is creating images. So you'll see here that now it will start creating an image based on what he considers the main character looks like or is all about. So yeah, actually the story is about a spy that that is from Paris, France, and he's looking for a treasure. So of course this boy or this character doesn't look like the real one from the real story, but the whole context of being a spy in Paris and going around is kind of portrayed here. So yeah, just wanted to show you really quick, like things that you can do on ChatGPT. There are tons of things that if I sit down and tell you like all the features, it will take forever. But these are the main things that I wanted to share with you. Any question? Any comment so far? No? Yes? Maybe? Okay, perfect. So let's go back to the presentation. Okay. So of course, in order to have the best results from these chatbots or any AI tool in general, is really important to understand how prompt engineering actually works. Because if we want to be very accurate and precise when it comes to requesting information or asking for a specific task that the tool can do, it is really important to do it in a manner, sorry, that machines can understand. Okay, so that's the reason why we need to have some knowledge about prompt engineering. And it sounds like really fancy, but not really. If you're a language teacher, you will understand this like really, really fast, and it will be really easy. So the definition, according to Leo and Chilton, is that prompt engineering involves designing clear, effective instructions, prompts, for AI models to achieve specific desired outcomes. So basically what I have been mentioning, in order to have good results, we need to know how to ask and request, okay? So let's continue. Of course, there are many prompt frameworks that we need to cover here. One of those are RTF, which is the one that I can tell you it works at least on 85% of the things that you want to request from any AI chatbot. So what exactly it is? RTF. So R stands for role, T for task, and F for format. So basically, in the order of my input should be role, assigning a role, as I did in the live demonstration, add as an expert in ESL, EFL, English teaching, whatever, basically. You don't have to be very narrow when it comes to providing roles. Maybe you want for university level, let's say you're teaching literature or you're teaching composition or something a little bit more elaborated. So you will ask them to act as an expert in these regards, because here probably the main focus is not learning English, but learning a specific thing, like literature, business, and so on. Okay, so other frameworks are RISE, which is the role, I is the input, S steps requests, and E is expectation. So of course, the other frameworks will be used depending on the type of task or the kind of accomplishment you are expecting from the AI chatbots. So I will be one by one, so you understand in depth what each one is all about. So far, any question? Remember, you can use you can use the chat bar and tell me what you think, any comment, any question. You can also use your mics. Nope. Well, so I will assume that everything is clear. Let's continue then. So here let's explore the RTF, which is the one that I mentioned that it is really important to know because it's the one that is universally used for most of the tasks that we request when using AI tools. So the first one is role. Here it says that you have to define the AI's function and expertise. It's something that we have to make sure to do it every time we interact with chatbots. Why? Because remember that chatbots like ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot, they manage a huge amount of database. And it's if you start saying like create a vocabulary activity using words related to, I don't know, transportation. It won't, it will give you the activity and the list of words. Of course, it will do that. However, if you're not providing a background, like what kind of students are they? Are they elementary school students? Are they middle school, high school, university level schools? Is this master program? It doesn't know. Remember that these things are not mind readers. They don't know unless you say, right? So, and among all the information that these tools possess, it is really important to assign the role so it will only focus on one specific type of information, knowledge, if you will. So it's really, really important that you assign the role before starting a new conversation. What does that mean? So ChatGPT works like Google. You have to, if you have to look for something different without losing the progress from another conversation, you just open a new tab. I will call it tab. You open a new tab and you keep you start on another conversation, so it doesn't mix what you were doing on the previous conversation with the new one. So the next one is define task. So specify the instructional objective clearly, and here is where you have to write the most. Provide in detail. Have to provide in detail everything that you would like to discuss, right? If you would like to create a reading activity that requires the students to use specific grammatical I would say concepts like past tense, or they have to use coordinating conjunctions, or they have to use specific type of verbs. You have to mention it. You also have to mention the level of the students, if they are proficient or they have A1, A2, B1, B2, you know. So you can provide the student's profile. So if they're like their age, if this is a school where bilingual school where English is taught not only during the English language class, but in other classes like science, social studies, and so on. So it's really important to provide as much as you can, okay? Really important to do so. Finally, the format. So when it comes to format, it basically is all about how you want that information to be presented. If you want that information to be presented in a worksheet format, then you ask so. If you want that information to be provided in paragraph, and each paragraph have, I don't know, 50, 60 words or 5, 4, 6, 7 lines, you request so. If you want the information to be on a list, on tables, divided in slides, if you want to present that information on PowerPoint. So that's the format. That's basically how you want that information that you are requesting, sorry, to be presented. Okay. And here are some examples. So this will be write a simple 3-scene story with basic objects and present simple tense. So that's the case if you have the kind of if you know the proficiency of your students. So you want, if you don't say that this is for A1 students, it will provide an activity or information that will be difficult for your students to handle. So B1 says create a dialogue based travel story using past tenses. And then C1 says develop a short cultural narrative integrating idioms and figurative language. So as you see, the level of difficulty changes, and that matters, and it's really important to make sure that you provide that information every time you are interacting with any AI chatbot. So far, any question, any comment? Is everything good?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Okay. Perfect. So here we have a graphic that kind of makes us think of what an effective prompt is about and an ineffective one. So for an effective prompt, you have to be clear and specific. If you create an ambiguous prompt, that will certainly lead to an inaccurate response. Then you have to, if it is about vocabulary or the specific grammatical rule that you want to cover, you have to, that vocabulary, that grammar thing has to be contextualized by providing the setting where you're teaching. As I mentioned, it's a religious school, so you have to take in consideration certain things for a religious school. If it is for high school, if it is for university level, if it is, university level, but you're teaching in the faculty of medicine or somewhere else. So you need to contextualize that information to a specific, I would say, context. Also, you have to structure your frameworks. So that's why we're learning about prompt engineering, because we need to know how to request things. So in a way, the machines understand what we are looking for or what we're expecting to get as the outcomes or output. Otherwise, we will have an unstructured responses, and here is where it comes like, I've been fighting with ChatGPT like for 1 hour and it's not giving me what I want. So you just give up and do it yourself. So it happens because we're not being structured in the way we request things. Okay, let me see the chat. Exactly. So prompt engineering, it doesn't have to do, it doesn't have to be related to chatbots only. So even we as humans, when we communicate and interact, we are providing prompts, good or not, but we are providing instructions, and this is where it comes the misunderstandings that we have in communication. So it doesn't, like, the whole idea doesn't apply to AI in specific, but in the way we communicate, sometimes we have some communication issues, but it's because we don't know how to portray and organize our ideas. So actually, if you learn how to write prompts, it won't only help you out with your AI interaction in general, but to speak and be a better communicator in general. So that's a plus right there. Okay. Yeah, good comment. Okay, let's continue. So here are some of the examples for bad prompts and good prompts with role playing. So for example, a bad prompt will be explain how to correct mistakes in class. That's really vague. That's not really providing what exactly I'm looking for or I'm aiming for regarding mistakes in class, right? But here you are an English teacher at a language academy for adults in Spain. That's a very specific role to assign, right? Because even saying that you are an expert, like act as an expert in language teaching or English teaching, is not really enough. You need to, okay, you're English teachers, where, to what extent? So it's really important to add as much information we can. Okay. So one of your intermediate students struggle with past simple mistakes. Explain how you would correct these errors without discouraging the students using effective correction techniques. Okay. So a bad prompt. So this is a response from the bad prompt. So the bad prompt will give you this. You can correct mistakes in different ways. Sometimes you can tell students when they are wrong, and sometimes you can let them figure it out. Try not to make them feel bad. So it's not saying anything, at least helpful for giving feedback. So yeah, it is really important that you want a good response, you need a good prompt. So what about having the answer from a good prompt based on the one that I previously displayed? Is, as an English teacher in Spain working with intermediate adults, I would first identify the most common past simple mistakes my students make, such as incorrect verb conjugations. For example, he go to the store yesterday instead of he went to the store yesterday. So to correct those errors effectively without discouraging them, I would use, and then you see some of the things that probably you know, like self-correction, recasting, error highlighting, you can ask more, maybe you have better ideas, but at least you have a better response, which is what you're looking for. You're not looking for ambiguity, because at the end, I could do that by just thinking what I think is the right way. And of course, when it comes to these things, you also have to be very clear of what the right way is, because it just follow these without thinking if this is actually good practice or bad practice in my classroom. It will end up in something that won't be beneficial when you apply this into your classes. Okay, any questions so far? Okay. So here is some of the frameworks that I mentioned previously. As I said, RTF is a framework that you will use most of the time. But here you will have some other frameworks that can be helpful depending on specific situations or contexts that you're dealing with. So CARE framework for AI integration. So the C stands for context. So briefly explain the situation and context. Sometimes you don't have to provide a role, because let's say that the chatbot already knows what the role is. They have to be an English teaching expertise or anything related to that, right? So you don't have to repeat that again, because you're already in a conversation where that was established at the very beginning, right? So the A stands for assistant. So clearly state what you need AI to do. Then the results, expected outcomes from AI. So you explain what you're expecting. So I'm expecting to have a list of vocabulary words related to cooking that are used for B1 students. So I'm establishing what I'm expecting from the AI to provide, right? And then examples, yeah, such as grade on, I don't know, any cooking verb that you consider difficult. So really, really important to take that one in consideration. Probably use when you're more advanced in the conversation. So now you will be asking a different task, but still related to the first thing that you ask. Yeah. Perfect. And here are some of the examples. So context. We are introducing storytelling to develop vocabulary. Of course, you can add more. Assistance. Generate 150-word short story suitable for intermediate level learners. The results to help students practice simple past tense usage. So you're mentioning when you're expecting the short story to be about and what the students should practice. And then the example, if you want to provide a specific format of how that short story should be displayed to the students. So use a style similar to Cambridge ESL textbooks. It will investigate what Cambridge ESL textbooks are about. If you feel that it won't give you what you're really looking for, then you can actually write what a Cambridge ESL textbook look like by providing the document, providing a picture, providing you text what you consider this should look like. So really important. Then you have RISE, which is role again. So you design, you provide a role. I for instructions, provide clear and specific instructions. Then style, indicate the language styles of register. And E for evaluation, include how the task will be assessed. So this is probably when you want to create an activity that for I don't know, for any specific skill that you want to work on. So evaluation comes to this situation since for any activity, formative or summative, you need to assess this, but how? And then this is how you provide the right prompt for this. Okay, so here is an example, very quick. So role your friendly ESL assistant. Remember that this is just an idea of how you can start the prompt. Doesn't mean that this is a good prompt, a perfect prompt. Just giving you the idea of how you should start a prompt based on the framework. Of course, you need to write a lot. You need to provide as much detail you can in order to have a good results. Instructions: create a short dialogue practicing ordering food at a restaurant vocabulary. Style: use informal conversational language suitable for intermediate students. And then it's not here, but then the evaluation, which stands for the E. Then you will say this evaluation will be done by paired feedback or any kind of feedback that you know and you like to apply in your classroom. So far, any question, any comment? It's really important to know this because this is the homework, basically. Any question? No? Okay, perfect, perfect. So, perfect. So let's continue. So for create framework, this one is a little bit more complex because it has many steps to follow. So the first one is character, which is the role, basically, just in a different way. Request, so you ask the kind of task that it should proceed. The examples, again, you provide a model response of how you want the information to be presented. Then some adjustments, just in case you already asked for requested something that didn't go the way you wanted. So this is where adjustments comes to action. So you have to maybe instead of a story divided in 10 paragraphs, probably I only need 6 paragraphs instead. So you can work on that. And the type of output, so again, it's like the format, an extra, so you ask for specific things that are probably not related to the original prompt, but something that you might need besides everything that I just wrote and requested. So as you see, at the end, most of these prompts are really similar, but there are some frameworks for a specific situation. Let's say when you start a conversation from scratch, and there's some other frameworks that are used after you have several interactions in that tab, in that conversation section. And here you have some of the examples, right? So the character is basically the role. You're an experienced ESL teacher. Request, basically asking for the main task, right? The examples is how I want these grammatical mistakes to be corrected. Then adjustments, so specific things that I want to change so it doesn't make the same mistake. Type of output, then if again, if there was a previous interactions, you need to provide, okay, this is the kind of output that I want. Basically talking about format, like I don't want this to be displayed in paragraph or plain text. I want this to be displayed in slides and so on. And extras is like, for example, provide a brief explanation after a correction related to, I don't know, that grammatical mistake that you are working on. Okay. Any question? Nope.
I guess so far, I will see if I understood when I do the homework.
So for when it comes to these frameworks, probably is a little bit tricky to remember all of them when you're interacting with any AI tool, but at least you have to have a certain degree of organization of ideas. This is probably what I want you to take with you today. That is not just I open ChatGPT and I will just write what I want without any specific organization of ideas or steps, how these machines will understand better what I'm looking for. I don't know if I explain myself well of what the framework is all about. So yeah, I wanted to do this with you here, but I thought that maybe it was more important for me to spend more time in explaining this, because this is probably the core for everything that we're going to do later on in day 2, day 3. So it is really important to understand what are the basic concepts related to AI, right? What really looks like to work on chatbots like ChatGPT, and how I should interact with any AI tool, which is the frameworks. So that is basically what I wanted to provide today. So it's really clear how to like once we will go on any specific AI tool that we're going to learn this week. You need to know how to actually interact with those tools so you get the best from it. So this was supposed to be your activity, but we have no time for that, unfortunately. However, this will be your homework. We can discuss this tomorrow. It's just some of the ethical things that we have to take in consideration. So tomorrow, first minute, we will be discussing this. No problem with that. However, I wanted to like very briefly explain what you guys have to do in classroom. So let me stop sharing.
Well, while you are looking for the link, I would like everybody to join Classroom. Remember that to join Classroom, you have to have a Google email. Okay. And also remember that you have to do your assignments to comply with the 40 hours. So it is important for you to access Classroom and do your assignments, because without your assignments, you won't be able to comply with the 40 hours. And without the 40 hours, you won't have your certificate. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so basically here, what you have to do is What you have to do is to, of course, create an account on any of these AI to AI chatbots. Any works. If you have ChatGPT, go ahead. DeepSeek, Cloudy, Gemini, Copilot. And then you have to choose within these frameworks. I put the prompt framework PDF, so you have in case you didn't take notes or something like that, you have all the frameworks here, and then you also have a video of how to write good and bad prompts to help you out, and then you have to write a prompt based on 3 of the 5 frameworks that we covered today. And once you submit your prompt, you have to take a screenshot of your input and your output. It doesn't matter what it gave you, you just stop there and then you take the screenshot. So you don't need to continue or going on with the conversation with the AI bot. I just want to see if you're using the frameworks correctly with the matter of what each framework is telling you to do. Then you organize your input, your idea based on these frameworks. So basically, what you have to submit are three screenshots, because you have 3 different frameworks, 3 different inputs that you have to submit. Yeah, that's all. And I think you're very familiar with this. You just have to go a little bit more organized in the way you request things to the chatbots. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Ideas, for a great presentation. I know that what's coming is going to be fantastic for everybody in how to integrate AI as a tool for our English classes. I was reading the messages here in the chat box. It says that there is a problem with Classroom. So I don't know if that's still a problem. The code is already shared here, as well as the link. Sometimes when we have, Gmail account that is full, or we have, this account linked to many other accounts or any other apps, it happens. So my advice is, if that's a problem, that could be, an opportunity to open a new email, or because maybe it's been used a lot. So it's not a problem. It's joined, it's okay. Yeah, we are receiving that is working. Okay, do not forget to complete attendance of today's session, and that's mandatory, and check in Classroom for the information and the assignments that you have there for this session. Okay, so if there is no other housekeeping information, Professor Marisol, is there anything else, announcement or anything?
Nothing else, just do your assignment. Remember to provide the 3 screenshots. Well, let's see if you understood or not. That's exciting.
Do you share
Thank you,
the link
Professor
for the Google
Diaz.
Classroom, Antonio?
Google Classroom is
Sorry?
being shared here in the chat box. It's here.
It is in the chat
Okay.
box, yes. Yeah.
Yes, here on Classroom. So thank you very much for your attendance and participation today. Have a wonderful and amazing afternoon, and see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. Have a good day.
See you tomorrow. God bless you all. Bye-bye. Have a good day.
Bye. See you tomorrow. Take care.
See you. Thank you, Professor Abdias. Was a lot of information. Wow. Thank you.
Yeah, a lot of information to digest, I guess.
Yeah.